Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back for another Grand Prix here in the World Championship Racing League in Austria. I'm Ben Ragger McConnell, and joining me on the caster's desk is the legendary Jamie M. Caster Elder. How you doing?
I'm not too shabby, man. Yourself?
I am not too shabby. It is Austria, which actually is one of my favourite tracks, to be truthfully honest. I love the fact that it's just constant pressure for the drivers. I mean, being a driver myself, I don't like it when I'm on the receiving end of it because it literally doesn't allow you to make any mistakes. And obviously on a situation like this where you've got some insanely fast drivers, you know, the amount of pressure that gets put on you is just even more than usual.
Yeah, it's constant. You got 3 DRS zones on this track. It is, as you say, it's basically constant pressure. You never get a chance to just get away from the guys behind. They are going to be on your back end every single lap. And,
yeah,
well, we're going to see how the drivers are going to handle that in a moment.
We are indeed. Obviously, we've just started the qualifying. We can see both the McLarens are on the way out. I also see Brownie on his way out as well. And it turns leading the two of the two teammates. We know these two to be very good at working together, particularly when it comes to any tracks that allow for tow. Now, this track isn't necessarily one that can do that. I mean, you can, ultimately, from turn 1 up to what is actually turn 3. You can do it there, but do you really gain that much? I would probably argue no. However, I'm going to throw you in the deep end as per usual. What is your top 3 prediction for the qualifying?
Your bloody bus. I absolutely hate it. I think as everyone well knows by now. We're always going to look towards one driver in particular on this grid, which is going to be Hypers. He had an off week last week. In fact, he came 6th. But that was just down to a bad strategy call at the time. I think it's got to be him to take pole position here. Second place. Yeah, I'm just looking at standings and trying to work out what I think. Second place, I think Anthony Turn might nab that second place. Again, he had an off week last week. And third, I'm going for Frankie Pie. I assume yes, he's still here. Good.
Yeah.
Because you didn't know him last week, and now you do.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I know him good and proper now. Yeah, he gave me a good insight into the sort of driver he is. Do I think that he's going to excel? I mean, last week was France, and it's sort of a track that there's not a lot of people that actually like that track, if I'm honest. I mean, I'm definitely not one of them. I personally really don't like it. Yeah, Ray loves it, but I'm not a fan of it personally. I mean, you'd be a fool to look away from Hypers, really, wouldn't you, for P1? He might go for the medium tyres to start on, but I don't know. I think that a lot of drivers are going to actually go soft here, so I'm going to go Hypers P1. P2, I am looking towards Martin G. I know that he has got pace, but just lately he's been letting us down a tad. I want to see him smashing it in the top 3 regularly. Whether or not he actually will deliver that today is the sort of issue I'm currently facing. I mean, P3, I'm going to put Frankie Pie there. Yeah, alright, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to go Hypers, Martin G, and then Frankie Pie.
So one difference in us, which is our P2.
Yeah. Interestingly, I didn't pick Ed Nickton at all in the top 3.
Yeah.
But I mean, you also didn't choose Martin G in the top 3.
But we've also missed out winner from last week, Lemon. He's back here again alongside his teammate Hypers. They work well together, similar with Enitel and Copy.
Exactly.
Last week, Lemon took the win. Second place was Frankie Pie. Third place went to Brownie. A safety car, very early safety car, messed up Hypers' attempt last week. Hopefully, he won't have the same this week, and he'll actually get to do something.
Now, is Rocky a newcomer, or is he just renamed his account? Because I don't recognise Rocky at all.
Don't know.
I think Rocky's a newcomer. I'm pretty sure Rocky is a newcomer.
I'm looking at the standings at the moment, and there's no one called Rocky.
So yeah, it must be new to the league. I'll be interested to see how well he does then. I mean, he's currently on a flying lap at the minute, coming through the final 2 corners. The way he takes that first corner he took it pretty wide on the entry. Is the time going to be a quick one? P5. Yeah, it's pretty solid actually. 104.476, just a little bit ahead of Brownie. Yeah, you know what? I think he deserves some, and I'm not meaning to intentionally do this pun, but I think he deserves some brownie points.
Hey. Okay, so a couple of guys. It's very tight still at the top. Top 3 separated by 0.08 per second already. That bodes well, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's true. Is there a Kovacs Lorand in the standings?
Yes.
Okay, that's Rocky apparently.
Okay, he's known as Rocky now, so it's easier for us to pronounce. That's for sure. Copy's backed out. I think he must have invalidated on the first corner.
Yeah, I think he did as well. I want to do a hot lap. I'm looking at Bird at the minute. He's someone who has seriously impressed me over the last 2 weeks with his pace. I really want to see him deliver in a track like this, because this is a track that, for me, I kind of feel like Bird would excel here. So, Cassie, do you want to take it away with the lap rundown?
Well, we shall see. He's coming up to the final couple of corners now in the Haas. Taking it as carefully as you can to just get as much power. Coming off that corner, DRS wide open on one of the 3 straights. We go down the home straight. The section point for here, just back there, is for this straight here. And that is activated immediately as we go through the louder corner, and he's backed out.
Yeah, I think he invalidated. Well, we'll come back to the hot lap
shortly
then. Yep, is he starting?
As he goes along the home straight, DRS wide open. This sounds familiar. Okay, that's all was turn 1. DRS taking point for after turn 1 is about there at the 100-meter board. And throw it in. That is activated immediately at the beginning of the 3rd lap. So DRS is in effect quite quickly on. Up the hill we go through the little kink of turn 2 towards the top of the hill, which is turn 3. Hard braking. DRS station point just on the way in, about 100-meter board again. And then we go down the hill. Don't hit the slow Renaults. Down the hill, DRS wide open, coming towards turn 4. And this is such a hard but such an easy corner at the same time. We're going to see a lot of people trying to make overtakes here. Defend the inside line as we saw Tunisia do in the official F1 against Frederick. That is the chief line through there. Through then kink of 5, and then into long 6 and now 7. Kink of turn 8, getting a little bit of slipstream there from Blackbird. Might help him out, might hinder him. Final 2 corners then, 9 and 10, connecting together rather well. Throw it through 9 with as much speed as you can. There to take. And then keep that power down again. Don't run too wide and come up to the line. And this looks good, very good.
Yeah, very solid lap. Look at that, 103.763. Now, fun fact for you, the F1 Esports Pros were doing 103.5s in their... Bear in mind, the qualifying is a one-shot, so they don't quite get it as easy as these guys, but I've heard that one of the pros was able to do a 103.2 as their fastest, as their personal best. They never set a 103.2 before, and they managed to succeed in doing that. So the eyes are really, for me, focused on Hypers. He's the one that we sort of think is close to esports pace. I mean, they're all not that far away, as you can see at Nickturn in a 103.7. So he's really not that far away from that level of pace on this track. But Hypers traditionally has been the one to keep a very firm eye on. 104.1 though on his second run. Yeah, we got 10 minutes remaining of the session. I don't know if he's intentionally being slow so he can be faster on the mediums, or if he's just struggling.
I don't think you'll beat that on the mediums. He hit a pedestrian-paced first sector. I say pedestrian-paced because it was 0.08 slower than his teammate achieved, which was purple in that sector. And then he was just down a couple of tenths in the second sector and a tenth in the final sector. He's just losing that time in those last 2 sectors, specifically sector 2. That is just before turn 3, the whole way down to just before turn 7. So 1 DRS straight and a few corners. So he's obviously not handling those corners as well as he'd like.
Nope, definitely not.
Yeah.
It looks like sector 1 and 2. That'll just be, hopefully, just be cars getting out of the way. I don't see anybody that's having some sort of major issues. Whereas Rocky, no, he's good. But Lemon is coming around the final corner now. He's only slightly up. He's very, very marginally up. So he will jump P2. He was up by just under 2 tenths. But he gained all of that in just that final corner. He was only about half a tenth up at the point of when he came to the final corner. So he really threw it in there. But he's still 2 tenths off of it Nickturn. And he's the sort of driver we expect to be fighting him. It's now, you know, honestly, I think that we maybe have either underestimated Nickturn or overrated the others.
Maybe you underestimated Nickturn. I put him second.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You still underestimated him, just not as severe as I did. Oh, look at that sky though. It's actually become a little bit. It's become very cloudy. So that might be why you're seeing loads of cars ready to go for that's a corner cut, mind you. No, he's still going. All right. That looked very much like I've seen people get penalised for less in this track.
Yeah, that was a corner cut. I can tell you that's a corner cut because he did the fastest first sector time and it didn't turn out purple, so it's invalidated.
Oh well, I was right then. Copy coming through the second sector into the final one now, and he's only got a few corners to go. It's not looking too comfortable. The way he just took that turn 6, I think it is. He just did not look comfortable, and he's still looking a little bit out of shape. Very slow through there. Came off the power a little bit earlier than normal. This might be, 104. 167. It's still rapid, don't get me wrong, but it's not quick enough at this stage of the race, of the qualifying, sorry. It needs to be a lot quicker than that.
Air temperature has dropped 1 degree. I know that might not sound a lot, but the dropping air temperature can signify rain imminently.
Yeah.
It has dropped
I'm keeping
from 41 to 20.
I'm keeping a very firm eye on the halos of the cars, because obviously that's the first indicator to whether or not we're going to see any wet weather or anything. But I mean, the skies have just suddenly turned very grey. I mean, no one really. I mean, Jonah's done medium times. He's done a 105.554. I mean, he's P16 really. He's got no choice but to get out there on the softs. And I've seen a lot of drivers trying to just chuck lap times in as quick as possible. Whether or not they're fearful for the rain or not is a different story, but we'll see. Brownie did a lap time. It came P7, 104.363.
Yeah, that would signify that rain is on its way. The fact that no one's really done anything on mediums. They've all gone out on softs. There's no one done bankers on a harder compound and then changed onto the soft one towards the end. That, to me, immediately yells, watch out, there is rain on the way.
Yeah.
And his Hyper's going to rein it in. Is he going to get a decent time? He's not gone purple in the first 2 sectors. Got to hit a mighty final sector if he wants to get B1.
Oof.
B2.
It's still not enough.
So far off though.
Yeah.
2/10 down.
I don't know if he just doesn't like this track or maybe he's actually just sandbagging, but something does not feel right with Hypers today. I'm actually worried he might not win today.
Well, we haven't had a weather forecast of the race yet. So could it be a wet race and he's gone for a bit more of a wet setup? A bit more wing?
Potentially. Bird was slipstreaming Martin G. He's on a hot lap, but for some reason backed out.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he invalidated or if he just felt blocked, but yeah, it was a big oof. Nickton has retired.
That, to me, says rain's about to come if he's retired already. Or unless he's crashed.
I don't think he's crashed. It was Sector 1. The thing that, for me, that makes me think it was... I don't know. I don't know if he's just made a mistake and gone out on the soft tyres too many times.
There's the rain.
Yeah, there it is then, yeah.
That's why he retired. He knew that he's not going to beat himself. The track's going to get cooler, slippier. I'm on board with Beaker at the moment. He's still down 13th. He's not having the best day and he's backed out of an extra lap.
Well, that's going to be the end of his qualifying then, isn't it, really? If the rain's coming now, the track is only going to get slippier and slippier. And now it's do or die time for everyone who's out on hot laps. Hypers has done a hot lap already. He's in the pits now, so he's going to finish P2 at the end of this, and that's provisional P2, because you've got the likes of Martin G, you've got the likes of Lemon, both out on hot laps right now. Rocky, who has actually looked pretty strong so far, 104.3, just needs to find those that 4/10 gaps somehow, which, in the world of F1, that is a country mile.
Yeah, so I see more and more drivers retiring just aboard Jonah at the moment. He's gone green in the first 2 sectors, and that's a dangerous Astro, boys. Unfortunately, he had no control over that. But...
Martin G's backed out, so he is not going to improve. Neither is Lemon. Rocky has done a lap, but it just wasn't enough. Brownie's on an out lap, interestingly. Frankie Pie is not going to improve. Tinko's on an out lap as well, almost guaranteed not going to improve because of the weather. Jonah is in the gravel for whatever reason.
Oh, Brownie's lost it on the outlap. He's kept it out of the wall, but has just had a massive tank slapper. And yeah, so he's now gonna... Well, he should just heat up those tyres a little bit more than he would have liked. Is he going to just pit and retire?
I think he has to. I think he knows. There's no. I mean, there's no harm in going for it, but at the same time, yeah, he knows. That's it. It's done. Qualifying's over. Let's not hold up the race unnecessarily. Well, I mean, it's a little premature end to the session. I thought we might be able to see some drivers go a little bit further into the distance, but it is going to be a Nick Turn on pole position. 103.763 is his time, and quite controversially, he's beaten Hypers.
Yeah, I mean, none of us even predicted that. I mean, I thought Lemon might get there, and I backed my boy Frankie. Frankie's let me down a little bit today, but yeah, I was not surprised to see Lemon up there. I am surprised to see not Hypers there, but I know Etnerton does love this track. So
well, clearly,
yeah.
you can see. I mean, it's 2/10 difference.
In a Haas. Is that Bird? Bird's coming back out
on softs as well.
He just hit the wall as well on his way out of the pits.
He retired immediately. He realised, oh, well, okay, that's over.
Yeah.
So more drivers are going to be retiring. Everybody's in the pits that's still going. Lemon. Now, he did this, I believe it was last week. We saw him do this. He got on the wet tyres in the end of the qualifying and just started driving. So I wouldn't be surprised if he does the same thing again here, but we'll see.
Well, if you could start retiring, that'd be great. That's what we're kind of waiting for, is it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well,
it'd be nice if he retired.
About
now. He's coming out.
Is he?
Yeah.
He is. It's not even wet tyres yet.
Lemon just likes the Lemon show.
I think we should not watch Lemon just out of
spite.
Just because. Yeah. Let's watch Blackbird.
Yeah. Blackbird is working really hard in the pits with his engineering crew to figure out the method for the race. Actually, whilst we're talking about the race, I have been given a weather forecast. It is looking dry for the race, so we're not going to be expecting to see any rain at all. So whatever tyres they qualified on, they are going to need to start the race on those tyres. So, Nick Turn will be in, I mean, just check out the best scenario. So everybody in the top 10 bar Bird and Lemon, sorry, they've all done it on the one lap of tyres. When they did it on the others, they managed to do it on the second lap of doing it. So, yeah, it's going to be an interesting one for Lemon and Bird. I think the start of the race is going to be crucial for them. I think they're going to actually crumple away pretty quickly, and they may have to go to hards rather than mediums. But I mean, these guys know what they're doing, except for Lemon, who's decided that wet tires is the best one to do. Yeah, me neither.
He's getting no showtime for this.
No, this is all on him.
He's now wasting precious time.
Well, we've got all of 18 seconds before we reach the end of the normal session and a further 2 minutes.
Well, no, because we can do a lap, yeah. Anyway, right. So, what, do you want to talk about race now?
Yeah, we should.
Do predictions? We might as well do something while we're waiting for Lemon to retire. Hint, hint, wink, wink.
Finish faffing around. I mean, I'm actually really surprised by Hypers, to be honest. And the thing is, if you take it at face value, we're getting all up in arms about 2/10, right? It's literally 2/10 between Nick Turn and Hypers. But if you look at the driver's standings, Hypers is so far ahead and has been delivering exceptional pace pretty much since the season started. Then we come to last race where, yeah, he had exceptional pace, but he got screwed over by the safety car. And that obviously ruined it and put him outside of the race leader and winner. I mean, up until that point, he was absolutely dominant. No one was anywhere near him. Then you get to this race where his qualifying is just not quite up to par. And, you know, you got the likes of Nick Turn, who, in my opinion, you wouldn't see him necessarily beating Hypers on track. But he has today. And that ultimately, for me, is the main thing I'm thinking of. However, I am worried about Nick Turn's penalties.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very easy lap to get penalties on, isn't it?
Yeah. Well,
I think the same's going to apply to Brownie. He's currently 7th, but is he going to get higher than that through penalties that we expect him to pick up?
Yeah,
I reckon Lemon's going to take the win from Hypers, then Etnington.
Well, I will give you my predictions in a second as we just quickly run down the qualifying rundown. So, Anicton takes pole position by just under 2/10 on Hypers. Lemon in P3, Martin G in P4, Copy 5th, Rocky 6th, Brownie 7th, Bugsent 8th, Frankie Pie 9th. Bird rounds out the top 10 with Tinko being the best of the rest. And it's not until you get down to P15, so from 1st to 15th, that's where you separated the whole pack by 9/10. That's insane. 15 drivers, so close. And even the 16th driver was only 1.1 seconds off of pole position time. Like, on a track like this, where we've talked already about how much the pressure is applied to every single driver that's being chased, it's just phenomenal. And there's no way to pull a gap. Sector 3 is not long enough for you to be able to pull a gap. And we have lost. Is it being rehosted?
I believe it is, yes.
Is there a particular reason?
Rehost it. I don't know 100% the reason. I believe someone left after they said that it was being. Beacon said it's going to be a restart. I don't know why. I don't know what the reasons were, but.
We'll find out, I guess, later.
So, yeah. I mean, Beaker could have left a while back, couldn't he? Set up the lobby ready for us while we were waiting for Lemon to do his thing. But, yeah. Right.
I'm just trying to understand what it was that was the problem.
Apparently, Beaker forgot to allow ABS. So they need to restart.
I thought it was, yeah, so I think he turned assists off. And a lot of drivers are struggling. Interesting. Okay. All right. No, that's fair enough. Well, at least now we know. All right. So, lobby's going to get restarted.
So
sorry, say again.
Maybe that's why it's over so fast today.
Well, that's what doesn't make sense, right? Is Nickton was still rapid, and he had no assists on. And he was faster than Hypers.
He normally has them on anyway. I can't remember what he has.
He was faster than Hypers, though. And he didn't have any assists on. And Hypers is used to not having assists on. So I really don't know.
I don't think it's that. I don't think Etnis only uses assists. He used to use line, but I think he's turned that off now because of AOR.
But I've just seen in the Tier 1 chat at Nickton saying he needs medium traction control because he's struggling.
What?
I'm going to find it and just make sure I'm not hallucinating, but I'm almost certain
I think you might be winding people up.
I wish I was.
No, Editor might be winding people up.
Here you go, at Nickton. Can you also allow medium traction control? I'm struggling.
Yeah, he's just trolling, obviously. Editor's saying that when he's pole.
Has to be.
I mean,
forgot to allow it.
Read the chat, dude.
I'm reading it. I'm reading it. Yep. Okay.
You just got baited.
I got debated.
Big time. Big league.
Right, you took the medium traction control comment seriously.
Ripperoni.
And Nick
apparently we've gone to Canada now, so this should be fun.
It's gonna be a good track, good race.
Yeah. We
like Canada. Canada's a doozy. Right, well, I'm going to take this opportunity very quickly to turn my... So, last week, it was about this time last week, so I use a Logitech headset, right? And my headset, because it's Bluetooth, it gets regular updates. It got an update, which made my sound really loud, so I had to turn everything down. Now, I got an update today, and now it turned everything down for me back to what it was before, so now I've got to turn everything I turned down back up again to what it was at before. So I'm hoping that I don't deafen everyone.
That's interesting. I had that as well. Yesterday, everything seemed really loud for me. I turned the volume down on my headset. So maybe I had that same issue. Because obviously you've got the same headsets.
We do.
I've not updated it.
Logitech hit us up.
They didn't hit us up.
They need to hit us up, is what I was saying. I'm saying Logitech.
They need to, yes.
Hit us up with some sponsorship deals. That'd be sweet.
And I'm not like I'm sitting here with a Logitech controller, Logitech mouse, Logitech keyboard, Logitech headset.
Do you like Logitech by any chance?
No.
Oh.
I've not had Logitech mouses for the last 10 years.
Do you like this one?
Or keyboards. I'm lying again. I need medium traction control, obviously.
Shut up. But on a serious note, do you like the mouse you've got?
Yeah, I have the 502. It's a couple of years old now. It's quite a nice mouse.
Nice. I've gone through a fair few mice in my time. I've gone through. So I started off with my first gaming mouse because I started off with like, there's really cheap like £10. It was a Logitech mouse, but it was like something you would just use in a desk or something, like a home PC or whatever. Nothing gaming related at all. And it was a good mouse. Don't get me wrong. And then I went through some really cheap, tacky mice that you got on, like the ones that cost you £12 from Amazon or whatever that were, very, very basic. Right, if this starts, we need to stop it because he's left it on dynamic weather. But yeah,
maybe he's done it on purpose. I used to have a G9. I had about 3 of those, and they just kept breaking on me. But they were good mice, other than the fact the clicker just stopped clicking eventually. Which does happen. But
have you ever had a SteelSeries mouse?
No.
So I had a SteelSeries Rival 100, which was ergonomical, and it was a really, really good mouse. The issue I found with it was the inside of it had a rubber where you rest your thumb, but it worn away very, very quickly.
All right.
So it was a bit annoying. I ended up having to replace it because I actually worn it so much that it worn all the way into the plastic bit on the inside.
Your bone.
to the bare bone. And then I went from that to what mouse did I have after that? I don't actually remember what mouse I had after that one because it wasn't another SteelSeries. It wasn't a Razer mouse. I don't think it was a Logitech mouse.
The one things I like, I know it's on quite a lot of mice, but the adjustable DPIs.
Yeah.
Because I used to play Battlefield quite a lot. You get into a tank and you'll suddenly go, oh, my turret's taken half an hour just to turn 2 degrees. Yeah. You adjust the DPI and you can just swing it around really quickly as it can go.
Yeah.
And it really helps. And then, it is. It's not that quick. It's just a bit quicker. And then once you get going, you can lower it down. It's useful for sniping as well. You can just lower the DPI, just track things a little bit easier.
Yeah.
This one's got an adjustable, so I press a button, it changes the DPI while I'm holding the button, which is quite useful for just trying to go a bit slower on things. But yeah, it's a very nice mouse.
Yes.
I've had them for far too long.
I'm hopefully going to a Logitech mouse soon.
Sponsored.
Part of Veloce. I'm hopefully. So I've got a Fnatic Gear Rush keyboard and a Razer Death Adder mouse. Keyboard is good, but only because it was silent. I needed it before, whereas I don't need it now. So I'm hopefully going to a new one. But anyway, the lobby has been reset up. As you can hear, those glorious beeps, meaning that's only one thing. The race is about to get started. The drivers are going to have to choose their tyres again. I've got a feeling he's left Parc Fermé on. I didn't check it, but I think he has, which means I don't think the drivers actually... Oh no, they should be able to choose a setup because there's no qualifying. Yeah, there's no qualifying, so you should be able to.
Did he change it off dynamic weather?
Yes, he did. Overcast.
Oh, that's a shame.
It would have been ironic. It would have been hilarious, wouldn't it, if it went wet?
Yeah, it would have been great for us. I mean, that is definitely overcast. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But yeah, right. Let me just update. Save as just updating my telemetry. There we go. All right, I'm ready.
Me too.
Oh, you did do race predictions, so go.
I didn't. So, and let me just clarify which ones yours were, so we don't go for the same ones. So yours was like Lemon, Hypers, and Nickton, I think you said?
Yes, that was correct.
So, I agree with you. I think that's a good shout. I think the reason you went for that, I can only imagine, was because Nickton is so consistent at getting penalties. And that's why you put him down there.
Yeah, I think he's going to struggle on the track like this. Just pick up just a couple of penalties quite early on. It just sets your mindset for, I've got to really push. Then you pick up more penalties because you're pushing.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll see. I mean, he may prove us completely wrong. He proved us wrong in qualifying. Will he prove us wrong in the race?
He did. So with that in mind, I'm going to go Hypers still getting the win. Yeah, I mean, we were very critical. I mean, we were very critical. It's very much kind of like a Hamilton situation in the official F1, where if he's not absolutely dominating the field, people are like, what's happened to him? What's happened to him? And it's the same for Hypers. He's been dominating the field all season long, and suddenly, the one race he doesn't, we're all like, oh, what's happened to Hypers? What's happened to Hypers? This is not normal. He should be absolutely smashing it, blah, blah, blah. So I'm actually going to take nothing away from Hypers. I'm absolutely going to give him the full credit here. He did really well in the qualifying. He was only 2/10 off of a nick turn, just under actually. I think he's going to take the win, especially if a nick turn does stuff like that on the first lap.
What's he doing?
I think Hypers will probably beat him to turn 1. So Hypers pit P1. Lemon P2. Copy P3.
Fair enough. Copy's going for a big jump then. I've just got a small adjustment to make on my...
Well, the reason why I think he's going to get P3 is I think Nickton is going to get a lot of penalties. And I think Martin G is going to get involved in an issue because I've seen that happen too much recently from Martin G. I honestly, I've been amazed by how fast Martin G has been. But I've also been amazed by how many times he's been involved in just contact that he could have avoided or just didn't need to get involved in. And it's cost him not only his race, but, you know, vital points overall. And that's it's just a simple situation he could have avoided if he'd just been a little bit sort of more heads up about it. So I think Nickton's just going to get too many penalties, so Copy's going to jump him that way. And I think that's ultimately what it's going to go down to. So, drivers, final one. Spax Gamer getting into his pit box now, and we're about to get underway with the Austrian Grand Prix. The lights are on screen now. There it is. And as soon as they disappear, the Australian Grand Prix will kick off around the Red Bull Ring. Will it be a Nickton getting to the first line? It's not. It's not. It's Hypers who's going for really pushing for it. Lemon really getting the charge there. Actually getting squeezed by his teammate in towards turn 1. There was no change. Bit of a wobble there coming off.
Oh, big off at the back there. FSK and Spyrex coming together. A bird very slow off the grid. He's dropped a fair few places back, and there's definitely some front wing damage further back. So go with it. Brownie and Bolton having a little
Who's
battle.
that? Torosso. Is that Evil Kiwi? Evil Kiwi just getting put on the inside curb, and there's not really much he can do about it. He's trying his best to fend them off, but Hypers has got race lead going into it, and also Lemon's trying to get down the inside of Hypers.
Big crash, sorry. Huge crash back there. It's Blackbird's had a big off. I think it's just him. Fortunately, it's just him. It could have been several other drivers, and he's DNF'd.
He's just accidentally killed his own race.
Yeah, big crash going on back there. I think we might see a few pit stops. There's definitely going to be some wing damage.
Well, we'll keep an eye out because we might get a safety car. But look at the race leaders. It's both the Mercedes guys, 1, 2, and you literally have Lemon right on the gearbox of Hypers. He's got the 1, 2. Martin G's jumped up to P3, and Nickton had such a bad first lap of this Grand Prix. He's even got himself into a position where Copy's right there on the back of him as well. And this is what I was saying. I didn't think Nickton. I thought it was going to be more down to penalties, but I knew something was going to happen to a Nickton that was going to take him out of the top 3. I mean, we're already calling it early. It's lap 2, but yeah.
Rocky, here comes Rocky. Down the inside of Copy. He's found the spot. Can Copy hold it around the outside? He hasn't yet, but he hasn't not. They are literally side by side. Rocky's just a nose ahead, coming towards the braking zone, and they're still neck and neck. Rocky's going to have to go through the inside. I think he might have that. Copy. Oh,
Bogzan. Hello, welcome to this battle, mate. Straight down the inside, straight past both of them. Double overtake there for Bogzan. Nice little smooth movement. It was literally all gifted, I guess, if you like, between Copy and Rocky. They were touching for such a long time that slowed them both down. They were both scared to do anything about it, and that's now brought Copy down to P7.
Yeah, Copy losing big time there. Rocky gained the place on Copy, but lost out to Bogzan at the end of the day. And Frankie Pie is on the back end of that train as well, with his long-term rival Brownie sitting off the back, waiting for his opportunity. DRS enabled. That is enabled pretty much immediately.
Yeah.
And who are we going to see making moves?
Oh, 3-second time penalty immediately there for Tinko now, so that was cutting turn 1 just a bit too hard. Frankie Pie looking for an opportunity on Copy. He's going to go for the late break, straight in towards turn 3, gets onto the curb nicely, gets a good drive on the exit, and that's immediately Copy now down to P8. So maybe, just maybe, I got a little bit carried away with the Copy P3 situation, and maybe I overlooked Martin G too much.
Martin G's has gone purple in the first sector, so he's on a little bit of a charge at the moment. And obviously big DRS help in the first sector, so not entirely surprising.
No,
But
and
Copy is just losing out to Brownie. Just nudging a little inside. This could be tears. No, he survived, but he's lost the place. What is? He must have damage.
Something's not right.
But
something's not right. He must have either he's got pedals that are not calibrated, but this is not usual Copy. At least it's not usual Copy of late. Copy has been really fast lately. Today, I don't know if it's Austria or what, but something is not working well for that McLaren driver. He needs to figure it out and fix it ASAP.
GP2 engine, obviously.
Okay, Alonso, calm down. But it's still Hyper's P1, still Lemon P2, still mine GP3, and I did not expect to see Bulksan climbing so many places. He is currently tied with Jonah and Spax Gamer for the biggest winners. The biggest loser, though, sadly, is Blue, who's lost 5 places from the start.
Yeah. Bird's starting to recover as well. He had a terrible start. I don't even think you saw it. He just got a bit late on the accelerator. And I think he lost about 3 or 4 places before he got to the first corner, but he's starting to make that up. Obviously, the big crash with Blackbird, his teammate, has helped. And the pit stop for FSK also has helped. But, yeah. So, let's see what they can do from back there. Let's have a look further up. Frankie Pie. It's still quite close. Rocky has a chance to get past Bolton if he just close up in the next few corners.
Yep.
But still, front leaders are still quite close as well.
They are giving it the full beans. Mind G is kind of just on the limit. He's there, actually just broke outside of the 1 second. I think he hasn't got DRS, so that's going to be a bit of a pain for him now. The 2 Mercedes drivers are just going to take off.
Yeah, and Blue won't be taken off because he hasn't got any wings. He's just had a big accident. Full, well, sorry, 95% front left, 100 front right. It's missing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how he's got 95% on either of the wing. He literally has no wing, so there's Rocky. No way he could possibly have 95.
Both locking up, nudging. Sorry, Rocky's just squeezed on through there on Bolton. Bolton, a little bit of nudging between the 2 drivers, but Rocky just gets his elbows out and says, "Look, I'm coming through. Out my way."
Yeah,
and he's through up to P5, and now he can set his sights and see if he can run with the big dogs up front.
Yeah, you also got Evil Kiwi and Beaker going side by side, coming through. And this is actually going to be a tight one. All the way out, Beaker. Oh, he almost squeezed him onto the outside curb. There was an outside curb being ran there by Evil, but Beaker does get himself into P13. It's Evil Kiwi trying to get onto the back of him again. Beaker has no DRS to work with.
Yeah, they both run wide. Jonah had a little bit of a brown moment on turn 8. As they were going very side by side, he had to lift off and get out of it, just in case they came back across his line.
Bugs and Rocky, one more time, coming up to turn 3. Rocky's got the inside, so it's going to be a tough one for Bugs, unless he gets the cutback, which he doesn't. Gets bogged down, and Nick Turner and Martin G are scrapping. Martin G now under threat again. Martin G doesn't have DRS. He's just 2 seconds now away from the 2 Mercedes drivers ahead of him, and Nick Turner is just breathing down the Alfa Romeo driver's neck.
Beaker with a smart move there. He lost the place, but gained DRS and just took it back on the exit. With a big lock-up going into turn 4, and Jones going to go round the outside, is he? If you can hold it here, he's got the inside for the next corner. He's going to be in a good position. He's still trying to come through. He's on those mediums as well. Better Evil Kiwis, softs. He's not made the stick just yet. Has he got it now? No, I think he just left a bit too much room, really, there. But
it's the one time we'd say get your elbows out, really go for it. But the other thing he's got to think about is it's not worth him really doing that. Evil Kiwi is shredding his tires trying to defend from Jonah. Jonah's going to be living life. I mean, all of these drivers that are on the softs right now are going to be about to lose complete grip in their tires. I mean, you've got Nick Turn all over the back of Martin G just behind. Jonah's got a 3-second time penalty. That's actually, is there a force in? Yeah, racing point. Sorry, that's Blue. Blue is getting blue flagged, and he is really going to lose out massively as a result of that. This is heartbreaking for Blue.
He had a big off earlier, lost the whole front wing as you saw, and as pitted. He's not going to be pitting again. He's got in the hards, but he's just going to be really slow as a result.
Yeah.
The Mercedes boys are battling for the lead. Martin G and Edmonton are coughing down the microphone. Are battling for the last podium position. So, looking good so far.
Yeah, Rocky's managed to pull a little bit of a gap here, but it's not going to really be anything. You've got 3 DRS zones to defend from, and unless you get yourself outside of DRS in that final sector, there is no way to do it. And the thing is, it's very much a gamble You want to try and break that 1 second DRS, then you're going to need to somehow turn everything up to full and just burn away from the driver behind you. Problem is, if you don't do it, you've lost all of that, by burning away. And Nick Turn going for Martin G now. He's got the inside into turn 3. This is an opportunity for him if he can cement it. Put Martin G over to the outside, which he does quite cleanly. But Martin G gets the drive he needs out of the corner. He's brought himself right back into this. Doesn't have DRS working though, interestingly. So he's done that on pure raw pace. He must have DRS failure. And that would also explain why he fell away from the Mercedes drivers in the first place.
Maybe he didn't know he had DRS. Oh!
Did you see that? Yeah, exactly.
I just flipped back to Frankie Pie to see what he was doing behind, and they nearly came together. It's getting a little bit tasty.
It looked like it was Rocky just getting a little bit heavy on the accelerator pedal and just losing the foot end a little bit. Although now, the front runners have actually been the closest now than they have been since the beginning of this race. Hypers is still leading. I mean, I'm looking at his DRS usage.
Sorry, go on. It was just a mistake off track by Rocky.
Oh, okay. Lemon's ERS usage is obviously much better than Hyper's. Hyper's is actually trying to shake the slipstream, but he's not able to... actually, no, sorry, he's done that. Lemon couldn't do anything about it. And Nick Turn going again on Martin G, up to turn 3. This time opting for the outside line, does have DRS. Martin G not able to get the drive out of the corner this time round. Does he have DRS? Yes, he does. It's fixed.
Oh, Frankie Pie around the outside of Rocky up at turn hiccup, turn 3. Frankie Pie is coming back under pressure. Rocky's looking down the inside. That's going to be a dive if he's going to go for it. He doesn't go for it. Frankie Pie up to P6. Rocky loses the back end. He's going to lose 1 to Brownie. He's going to lose that to Copy, possibly, but Copy backs out for now.
Yeah, Copy has had a nightmare of a race, and so has Rocky, getting really wide onto that gravel. Almost lost the whole situation there for him, but he's kept it himself in this. That is crucial. Hypers getting a 3-second time penalty, and Nick Turn also getting a 3-second time penalty. The only 2 out of the top 5 to actually get penalties, and that's going to be crucial coming towards the end of the race.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if I've got anyone who's giving me their telemetry data for their tyres on the soft, so I can ascertain their approximate wear, but no one is giving me good stuff. All I'm getting is they're getting a bit warm.
Yeah, there is a little battle as well forming towards the back. This is for the final points position. You can see Tinko is right on the back of Copy. He didn't actually opt to necessarily overtake. He's just trying to keep himself in this scrap that's going on. Lemon is still there with Hypers. Again, not really... I mean, he's within the attack range. He's just not really going for it. He's like he's letting Hypers just run off. I don't think it is team order. I mean, these two have been teammates in esports teams for quite a long time. And then they obviously Hypers got picked up by Veloce, Lemon got picked up by Triton, and now they're very much not teammates as such.
They're good friends though. And
they are good friends.
They're both teammates in the game. They may not be esports teammates, but they are still technically teammates here.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they are in communication with each other, trying to discuss what is best. I mean, if Lemon's all over the back of Hypers, maybe Hypers should let Lemon go and see what he can do.
Well, Lemon was in mode 0 all the way down the home straight. He then turns it up to mode 4 for a brief moment on the run up to turn 3, and then turns it back to 0 again before he's got anywhere near Hypers. So yeah, I think you're right. It's either team orders, or he's just wearing Hypers down.
Yeah, he could be looking for that undercut. We're getting slow towards that pit window. I think we're going to be looking at probably 14, 15. So we're going to see the majority of stops.
Yeah.
I do have telemetry data from Frankie Pie, so I can see those tyres, and he's trying to make a move there on Boltzan to get it back up to P5, which would be good for him. And tyres aren't quite at 50% yet. They're on their way. This is for Frankie, not for everyone else. So a few more laps, quite possibly, on these. And hopefully he'll get past Boltzan before then. He's going to look to have a chance here on the home straight in that DRS. That looks like it could be. Or is he going to sit in and wait? He's in mode 0.
Yeah.
Looking like he's going to wait.
He's waiting for this one here. This is where he'll attack if he's going to go for it. Mode 1, 2. Nope, he's not attacking. Mode 3 then. He's gone for mode 4 now, actually. He might actually go for this. Yeah, he is. He's going for it. He's going for the inside. Boltzan's going to try and defend a little bit. Gives him a little bit of a scare. just to see if he can hold him
Easy.
back. Frankie Pie slips on through. Really solid exit speed as well, but Bulksan has got slipstream. Frankie Pie has DRS, but can Bulksan slingshot down the inside?
Mercedes side by side. Mercedes side by side. Sorry. They are literally in each other's wheel arches. This could end in tears. It's not ending in tears. Hypers holds the lead still. Sorry. That was too good not to watch. That was some tasty battling.
It was. Mercedes drivers punching each other almost. No. I think that answers your question, though, doesn't it, really? Oh, Hypers slides hard there. Lemon's in. So I think Hypers was going to pit. And that's the impression I get. Hypers was going to pit. Lemon saw Hypers just sliding around the second to last corner and carried on going. Well, I think Lemon's actually going to benefit more than Hypers here. I wouldn't be surprised if Lemon comes out at the end of this being race leader and about a second and a bit up.
I reckon we're going to see all top 6 pit on this lap or next now. It is that time. We're in that pit window.
Yeah.
As Brownie's closing up onto the back of Bolzan. Nearly closing up too much. To the point that he nearly hits the back end of Bolzan.
Yep.
But Frankie Pie up there now ahead of Bolzan and going to try and hold on for as long as he can. Let's see. Lemon has come out in free air. 3 seconds off the back of Jonah. He's got a good chance of taking this lead.
Yeah, exactly. There's nobody to stop him, no one to slow him down unless he stumbles across a back marker and then should hop, skip and jump out of the way.
Master Jesus just got past Hypers.
Has he got puncture? No.
No, but it was not in a DRS zone. It was... I just joined and they're at the exit of turn 8. I think Hypers' tyres just dropped like a stone.
Yeah, 100%.
Avoid a penalty.
Oh.
He's done it just.
He almost went straight into the back of him there. But now we're going to see just how well that pit stop worked out for Lemon. Lemon coming around the final corner.
I think this is Lemon's win.
I think it might be. I think you may have nailed that right on the top. Where is my... And there's... Oh, he's already gone past Hypers. Yeah, he's done and dusted.
And Hypers has come out behind Martin G. Behind Ennington as well. He's effectively in P4.
Is he about to get past? Oh, that's I think that's the back marker of blue. That's it would be to unlap himself, but yeah, this is a brutal situation to be in. You really don't want to be in Hyper's position right now. He lost that massive ring. We lost FSK. Yeah, to yellow flag, turn 1.
That is a big. That's just the slide in the corner and into the wall by the looks of things.
Yeah.
Big crash there. I'll keep my eyes on the Brownie and Frankie Pie at the moment. I think we're going to see some pit stops in these next 3 now. They're not giving away their hand just yet.
No, they're really not. And Nick Turn actually, he also benefited from that as well. I don't know if he just had a really solid in-lap or what it was, but look how close he is to the back of Lemon. I mean, the 2 Red Bull boys swap places. Pit stops happening now for Ash boys. Sorry, Rocky and Brownie. Frankie Pie's still out there on those soft tyres. Is that going to be his, I don't know, death there? Is he really just killed his own race?
Hey, just play it long. What you got to lose. Let's have a look at his numbers. He's looking all right at the moment. I think he will be pitting this lap, that's for sure. Unless he's absolutely crazy, and I don't think he'll be staying out for too much longer. But yeah, so looking at Hypers, he lost 2 places on that final in-lap, and that's really just cost him. Well, it has cost him 2 places, and now he's got to find his way back past Martin G and Ennington, and they are not slow drivers. What have you seen?
Blue having more issues. Lost it, it looks like, on the exit. Wobble, wobble, wobble. Caught it, but he was parked off the track. So there was no obstruction on the track, but just not having a great race at all. Hypers brings himself up to the back of Martin G, so he's in a position where he can start attacking. Now that we have DRS for him and some fresh tyres, not ones that are causing his back end to kick out every time, and Frankie Pie's pit.
Yep, let's see where he's going to come out. He's going to come out, hopefully for his sake, around Brownie, Rocky area. Where is he? He's coming out of the pit lane now. Going to be behind Brownie, but not far behind actually. He's just going to be just behind Brownie. So Brownie's managed to get the undercut on him there. Frankie Pie playing the long game, hasn't quite worked for him, but he's ahead of Rocky.
Oh, Martin G and Hyper's actually scrapping through turn 3, sorry. Martin G managed to get the inside. They're actually wheel to wheel. Martin G has DRS. Hyper's is going to be losing out. He's trying to just hold him back a little bit. Going to have to take the outside line. Martin G's defending the inside very nicely. But if Hyper's can stay alongside of him, which he has done, and gets the slingshot out of the corner, he is now going to be in a really prime position to take the P6 effectively away from him, as he's got the inside for both corners. Hyper's with a really solid overtake there.
Yeah, now Ellington needs to get past Jonah in front of him as soon as he can, because there is a quick man behind him. Jonah's actually defending into the final corner. Is he actually going to the pits, maybe? Yes, he is.
You see a lot of drivers who make it look like they're defending that corner, but actually what they're trying to do is just signify very clearly, I'm going to the pits. Because the apex for that corner is the pit lane entry, it's for good heads-up driving there from Jonah to signify that. Interestingly, though, these pits so early on the mediums.
He's gone on to hards as well, which is not what he would have wanted. Lemon's got past Baker, so he's now up to P2. And Hypers has managed to get past Ellington pretty darn quickly. So he's up to effectively net P2.
Yeah.
With Lemon leading. But Ellington is still there. Martin G is still there as well. And
Ellington, he's trying to get his nose stuck into the back of Hypers. He almost full on face planted into the back of Hypers there, but stopped the car just in time. Yellow flag sector 2. Is that blue again? It is. Blue again, having more issues.
I'm surprised he's still going. I think he might just retire soon.
I think he's now in his own mind. I think he's broken himself, really. I think that's ultimately what it's come down to. And someone else who looks like he's driving with a broken wing is at Nick Turn. He is just losing the car every corner. He's trying to carry so much momentum. Watch how he goes through turn 1. Hits the curb, fine. He actually made that one look alright, but you should have seen the way he did the last 2 corners. It would look like he was making so many mistakes. But now he's fine now.
Yeah, and Lemon is on the back end of current race leader Astro Boys. Should see a relatively simple overtake here. I say that, but who knows sometimes.
Yeah.
And we're not going to, because he's just fallen right off the back of him. He's not really pressurising Astro Boys at all. He knows he's going to have that place eventually. And as long as he can keep Beaker behind him, blocking off his teammate, he's doing well. He's trying to go around the outside here. Blue has finally retired. That's not going to go well for you, Lemon. He's trying to go around the outside. He's done it eventually. But that was harder than it needed to be.
And he lost a lot of time doing it, and that actually brings a position opportunity for Hypers to get back into this. The 2 Ferrari boys are fighting away as well further downfield. Frankie Pie has now managed to get past Spax Gamer. Beaker's in the pits, which does allow Hypers now to flick on past him and really start motoring up to the back of Astro Boys. Which, if he can do it, if he can get into the DRS range on this lap somehow, Lemon's not really pulling away. Look how much Astro Boys is just sticking to his rear, not going necessarily for an overtaking opportunity, but he has a much faster runner in front of him that he can use to just slipstream and just get free DRS off him the whole time that he stays on these mediums. Astro Boys may actually get himself a really solid points position. He just needs to make sure he doesn't run into the back of Lemon. He almost lost the car there. Did lock up pretty severely. That's now brought Hypers right onto the tail of him. I think Astro Boys just got a little bit too carried away there.
Yeah, interesting enough that Beaker's come out on softs. The longest first run was Frankie Pie, did 15 laps. Beaker's going to have to do a little more than that, 17. We'll see how you can do it. Beaker's the type of driver that would go for it as... yeah, I'll just keep an eye on that as well. Hypers is getting racy.
It was a bit touch and go there. There was almost a moment where you thought, he's going to get a penalty for this. I mean, I'm pretty sure he maybe even got a warning for that. But he's actually really shot himself in the foot there, to be honest. Because now at Nick Turn is right on his back end, or was on his back end. Martin G is going to be on the back end of it Nick Turn. Both of them have DRS. Hypers doesn't have anything. He's just trying to hold his line and pray that he can make it 1 or 2 more turns without having an attack from the boys behind him. If he can maintain that, he might be able to close up on Lemon and Beaker doing Beaker things.
And he's straight up retired as well. Not entirely surprising, really, is it? Surprised to see him spinning in the pit lane, though. That was a bit out of the blue.
So I think the soft tyre choice wasn't his choice. I think a mistake was made. I think the game actually put him on soft tyres even though he didn't want to be. Tinko's making mistakes. Here comes Bird on the hard tyres. Slipping for the inside. Not really going to be able to get this into turn 4. He's looking for it in turn 5, but he's going to be stuck on the outside, left out high and dry. And that's why you see Tinko just pulling away. Or am I wrong? Because Bird is trying to stick it around the outside. But no, Tinko does finally secure the position. And the battle for Pete, the top 4 now, has just got lively.
Yeah, it is lively up. 21 of 36 we are on. And I think now is a good time than ever, because I don't know if we're going to get a chance. Now, most people have pitted other than Sparex. And Bird has pitted, but I think he might pit again. We'll see. Should be okay. But quick penalty rundown then.
Go on then.
Current race leader, Lemon, none. Then Hypers has 3 along with Entiton. Martin G has 0 along with Boltzan. Brownie has 3. Copy has 0. Frankie Pie has 3 along with Rocky. Sparex has none. 9 seconds so far for Tinko down there in 11th. Not looking good for him. Bird on 6, and then 3 for everyone else.
Oh, there's battling going on. Actually, Hypers has just slingshot past Lemon. Whether or not that was tactful or not, but there's a big mistake there from Lemon. Back end kicks out pretty severely. Nickturn all over the back of Lemon now in the lead up towards turn 1. This is going to be an opportunity for Nickturn to get right onto the back of him, and he has now. Hypers under attack as well. 4 tenths is the gap between him and Lemon, and Nickturn trying to get on the back of him. Martin G trying to get on the back of him too. This is a 4-car slipstream DRS battle. Lemon goes for the defensive as Nickturn goes for a slingshot down the inside. Gets the door slammed in his face. Martin G breathing down the gearbox of the McLaren. Can't get the acceleration out of the corner. And that allows a Nickturn to defend. And we stay as is, other than Hypers getting past Lemon before the end of the last lap.
Tactical?
No, definitely not. You see the way that Lemon was losing the car? It had to have been a mistake.
Well, I was just thinking that Hypers has a 3-second penalty. Maybe he's trying to let him get that 3-second lead. But based on how they're driving earlier, I don't think there's any team orders there.
No, I don't think so either. I think Hypers just saw an opportunity, snatched it, and just said, no, I'm not going to wait. I'm going for it. This is my opportunity to get the race win. And yeah, he knows the pressure he's got to do. He has to somehow figure it out. Ultimately, that's what he's trying to do. The problem he's got, though, is he doesn't have... He has free air, but he doesn't have the ability to just pull away from those behind him. Like I said earlier, getting a gap on this track is just the hardest thing to do.
Yeah, speaking of looking for a gap, Rocky would like to put away from Frankie. Frankie is there, 0.4 second back. He just had not the best first corner, so he's not going to be closing up just yet. He'll close up a little bit. Ooh, this is a deep dive. He's going for it. I would have waited until next time, and that is why, because you just got a 3-second penalty.
Yeah.
That puts you on 6, Frankie.
So Astro Boys managed to get past Sparks Gamer pretty easily. Obviously, Sparks Gamer's done 22 laps on those medium tyres. A little bit too far, in my opinion. I think it'd easily gone to softs by now and just took it to the end of the race. But 13 laps is what is remaining, so softs is going to be probably coming in this lap, maybe next, just to get onto those fresh softs and go for it. The worrying thing is he will go right down to dead last. He'll be starting from P15 to pull himself into this.
Well, let's hope for his sake there is a safety car about now and he can come in for a free pit stop. I think if there's a safety car now, everyone would come in for a free pit stop, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they all would. I think the only person who might not is...
Hypers after last week.
Yeah, I think he might be a little bit scared after that one.
I mean, he's in front of his teammate, so why wouldn't he?
Well, yeah, he is, and ultimately being on softs would be good for him because he'd be able to just pull his way through the gap. But the gap really isn't that far to the rest of the pack. I mean, the furthest gap that we can see in the top 10 is the 6-second one that's going on between Bullockson and ING. And even if he pits, he's going to fall right the way down the order. And all you're doing is just introducing a risk factor of being taken out, you know, and that's... So he's really hanging on to there not being a safety car. If there is one, Hyper's race is done no matter what, and same for a Nickturn.
Depends when it comes. If it comes now, then I think they would... Well, obviously not now because they just passed pit lane. If it came on this lap, they would still pit, go for the softs. Because they kind of have to, because other people behind are going to pit and go on for softs. I mean, if Brownie or Copy go for softs, they've got a serious threat on their hands, especially from Copy. Copy's penalty free. If he pits, he'll fly.
He would, but then you also have to think about how hard it is to get past drivers. On this track, it can be very odd, because if you go for an attack on the home straight, which I would advise never doing, if you go for an attack on the home straight and you get the position done, you have to make sure you don't lose it into the second DRS straight.
Sorry, anytime and he crashed into Lemon. Yep, go on.
There's actually a little scrap going on as well further downfield as Rocky's trying to battle with Frankie Pie, and he has got the pace with that DRS wing wide open. He's going to be going into turn 4 and actually have a really comfortable line. There he goes. He needs to protect the inside, not this bit on the exit. He needs to protect it for the next bit, which he has done. But that meant he got so far onto the grass there. This has actually given Frankie Pie the opportunity to stick it in on the outside, and no, he just can't hold it. Rocky squeezes him to the edge, and Rocky gets P8.
Yeah, the elbows are coming out for those guys, as it's really helped Astro Boys close up as well.
I'm actually surprised at how... Oh, no, that's it. That's him done. That's him done. 6 seconds of penalties for Hypers. That will put him outside of the podium. It will be sat P4 unless penalties are applied to other drivers. Now, his best bet now to still stay on the podium is that a Nickturn gets another penalty. As a Nickturn has 3. Hypers had 3 until that moment just there. I thought that was it there, going to be honest. I don't know how he was going to do it, but still... He's just all over the back of Lemon.
Yeah, I'm watching the battle between a Red Bull and a Ferrari here at Austria. That doesn't end well for the Ferrari, if I remember correctly.
It does not.
As Frank needs to back out.
Yep. Yeah, he's still there. He still can hang in there. Rocky's obviously going to have to try and defend. What Frankie Pie needs to do there is trying to force Rocky to stay on the inside on a very tight line. Because if it's a tight line, it allows Frankie to actually carry more pace, as Rocky would have to brake more and slow the car down a lot harder. All that this is doing, though, is allowing the Red Bull behind of Astro Boys to just get on the back of him, and he's on softs. This is his opportunity to gun it now.
Yeah, he's actually doing better than these guys in front on penalty-wise. He's on 3 seconds, the 2 guys in front are on 6. So, when it comes to it, he'll be looking good. As I've just seen, Enito's just gone purple in Sector 1. He's lighting up the timing board. So he's kicked off in Enito's head.
Yeah, and Hypers is hoping that it's kicked off enough for him to get a penalty. Oh, he locks up a little bit there going into turn 4. Lemon just broke, I guess, a little bit earlier than he wanted to. But yeah, the battle's still going upside down.
Behind, yeah. Astro Boys has got past Frankie, but now... So if Frankie can hold this, he can be brought up closer to Rocky and hope that when these guys make an attempt, he can just slide on through and double overtake, as we saw Boltzan do earlier. And that double overtake worked really well for Boltzan. He's now up in 5th and looking pretty.
Yeah, it really is. And there's a potential he might even jump another driver. If Hypers carries on with the amount of penalties he's getting, if he gets one more, that brings Boltzan right into this. Astro Boys makes a mistake. Here comes Frankie Pie on the back of Astro Boys looking for a line. Astro Boys is defending, but this means it's going to be such a tight one. You can see he runs wide, and that's why he gets a penalty. And again, he might get another warning there for that line he took. And all this is doing is just helping Frankie Pie bring himself closer to the back of Rocky. I don't know what Rocky can do about this now, other than let Astro Boys by and not battle with and not let Frankie Pie through.
Yeah, Tinko and Bird swapping places behind. That's carrying us for pretty much nothing at the moment because Tinko's got so many penalties.
Yeah.
He won't be gaining a point this race by those things.
Bird's got him there. Look at this, coming straight down the inside into turn 3. Clean as you like, no issues at all there. But Jonah on the back of this, Tinko gets a better acceleration out of the corner. But Bird has DRS and the inside line, which means Tinko is going to get left high and dry unless he can get the cutback, which he tries, but not going to succeed.
It's not over yet. He's going to try and go around the outside. It's mediums versus hards, and hards are going to win for that one. They're both quite old though, so...
Yeah, keep an eye on Jonah though. He is only 11 laps in on his hards, and yes, he's going to be a little bit slower as Tinko's now going to take the outside into the second to last, gets the position done, but it's
through for DRS.
Yeah, I think it's a good heads-up driving there from Bird, but now he's at risk. Bird is in trouble. He's going to go for the overtake here. You can see him backing out. He's trying to hold it, and he's let Jonah through. Jonah gets a double overtake, but now he's in more trouble as he's not going to have, or somehow gets DRS. It's actually Tinko that loses out there. He must have timed that down to perfection. Tinko loses 2 places. Jonah's going to be looking to be attacked by Bird and straight through, but runs deep. And that's Bird falling back to where he was. Tinko!
Oh, damage. That was a dangerous re-entry, and he's paid the price for it with the front right wing damage there on Bird.
Yeah.
Well, actually, was that dangerous re-entry or was that entitled re-entry?
Dangerous re-entry, in my opinion. It came in very hard. It was a good try. I can see why he brought himself back onto the track as hard as he did. Obviously, he was in a battle. He wants to try and get back in that battle and not lose out as much as he can. But there's also a limit, and he's also running that risk of if you just come in a little bit too hot, which he did, runs into the side of Bird, and nice ping off goes his end plate, and he's lucky, to be honest, that Tinko didn't get affected by it. I think ultimately the impact there on Bird was already severe enough. I feel like the only thing that's probably going to end up being is a warning for Bird, and I think that's justified and fair. But at the same time, that's risky.
Yeah, well, if Bird was forced off the track by Tinko, then he probably would have been entitled to come back on, and Tinko wouldn't have left his space. But because Bird made the mistake into the corner and overshot it, it's 100% on Bird, and he should have just waited, just lifted off for literally half a second, and let Tinko go, and you would be back on the rear of him with a full front wing. He is, however, still hanging around there. He's not given up yet. He's still hanging around. As are the front four. They're all still hanging around the back end of each other.
Yeah. Can I change my prediction just slightly?
No.
Okay. Well,
because then I would change mine, and it would be, we all know what we'd do. We'd go for the same one each wouldn't we?
Well, if you could change it, what would it be now?
Well, Lemon's going to take the win from Martin G, then Etterton, isn't it?
Yeah. Is effectively what you're thinking it's going to be, and I would agree with you for the most part, except I've just got a sneaky suspicion that Martin G is ready to pounce. He's just waiting for that moment. If you watch his ERS usage, he's been sat in mode 0 for a long time.
He's got to make a double jump, don't forget.
Well, he only has to pass one. He's got a double jump physically because he's got to pass Lemon on track. But ultimately, he's going to gain 2 places out of this. And that's obviously where you say Martin G coming P2. But I think as long as Martin G doesn't underestimate the cars in front of him, he could actually get the win here. This is an opportunity for him to do that. Except if he does that. Do you want to
take that back?
Except if he does that. God damn it, Martin G. I had all my eggs in your basket and you screwed me. Come on, man. Although Hypers may have just been gifted.
Do you want to revise your predictions, yeah? So what you were just thinking, yeah, Martin G to win, yeah?
Well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try something here. So actually, Lemon's looking really good right now, and with 0 penalties, he might get a penalty by accident. If he gets a penalty, that would be great for this race because a penalty. Yeah, but still, something might happen. You never know.
No, if you want Lemon to get a penalty, you say Lemon gets a penalty now.
Okay.
That corner is a good one to get one on.
No, he's going to get it. You ready? The corner he's going to get is not this one because he's very good on this one. It's going to be this one.
Now.
Right?
No.
Oh, he's so delicate. But he lost so much time doing that.
If you want to start jinxing someone, look no further than the man in P6. He is the jinx master.
Yeah, that's true.
I speak about him so often, and I was like, no one's got any penalties this race, and Bradley gets a penalty. And then Bradley's going to get a penalty any moment now, you see. Oh, he's taking it easy. He is, I'm watching him.
Well, the other thing I'm just noticed is if you look at Lemon...
He's flying. Sorry, Bradley's just flown past Bolton.
Yeah.
That was comfortable.
So maybe you talking about him actually helps him. When you maybe point out there's no penalties, that's when he wakes up and goes, I'll help you with that. But just draw your attention really quick to the ERS levels of the top 4 drivers. Hypers is currently second best to Martin G. Martin G has the most. He's got 57%. Whereas if you look at Nick Turn, he's got 32%. And if you look at Lemon, he's all the way down in the 10s. He's struggling to keep it together. He's
trying to keep up with Hypers. That's the thing.
But that's what I'm saying. He's about to lose out. I think Martin G's got this. Come on, Martin G.
No, I don't think so. I think it's too late.
Penalty for Lemon. Here. Yes! Got it! Yes! Nailed it! Alright, I got it.
He's going to hate you forever now. You realise that, yeah?
I'm sorry, Lemon. I didn't mean it, mate. But, I mean...
Penalty for any turn. Here.
I need my prediction to look good.
I mean, my prediction isn't too far off. If Martin G messes up and any turn messes up, my prediction's on.
I mean, mine got destroyed because Copy had a really bad first lap. And a really bad first couple of laps, actually. So Hyper's, yeah, he may be holding the front of the pack down. And, you know, that's good for him. But 6 seconds of penalties is the situation he's in. So he will lose the podium, full stop. Unless
things happen.
Any of the 3 drivers behind him get another penalty. A single penalty on any of the 3 drivers means Hypers will actually still get a podium spot.
2 laps to go, you never know.
Yeah. Come on, Martin G.
Get a penalty, Martin G. This corner right here, Martin G. Get that penalty. Oh,
he did lose the back end there.
It almost looked like he did, almost looked like he didn't. There was no panicking in the steering. It just sort of kept turning and just corrected it. But yeah, quick penalty rundown on the second to last lap. Race leader Hyper 6 seconds, followed by Lemon 3, Enter 3, Martin G 3, 6 for Brownie, 3 for Boltan and Copy, 6 then for Rocky, Astro Boys, Frankie, Jonah, 12 seconds at the moment for Tinko, 6 seconds, 9, sorry, I'm getting confused because it's moved, 9 seconds for Bird, 6 seconds for Sparrex and 3 seconds for Evil Kiwi.
Yep, good stuff.
And Enter is coming under pressure here. Martin G is trying to go around the outside. Oh.
This is actually going to be horrible for a Nickturn. This is where a Nickturn crumbles. When he's got drivers like this all over the back of him, that's when you start to see disaster forming for a Nickturn. We are on the final lap now. This is do or die moment for everybody in the top 4. Lemon doesn't have to pass Hypers, but he does have to worry about the drivers behind, which is why he's giving it everything. Martin G, all over the back of it, Nickturn, has got the better slipstream than anyone else out of the front runners, and Nickturn knows it, which is why he's gone defensive into turn 3. This is actually allowing Martin G to go around the outside. He's trying to get the exit. He's actually glued to the side of a Nickturn. He's actually going to pass him. This is going to be Martin G into P3, but needs to somehow get across back to the inside, and he has. This is Martin G now securing P3. If he can get Lemon, he might get the race win. This is what I was talking about earlier, about how Martin G could bring himself into this. This is going to be the most crucial final sector of Martin G's life, and I don't think Lemon has anything he can do about it. He has so little ERS. In fact, he's matching Martin G. This is crucial.
That corner there, they survived that one. That turn 8 is... Sometimes you can pick up a penalty. 2 corners left. Final corner is where we do see a fair few penalties. Don't see many on this one. It is going to be to the line here. Where's Enter? He's gone off the bat. Lemon runs a little wide, avoids the penalty, and it is going to be Lemon taking that race win. Martin G second, Enter third. Hyper's dropping out. Further back though, we've still got Bassel. Sort of. Boltan, Copy, they aren't really going to be passing each other. Let's look to actually Jonah and Bird. They've still got a fair distance to go. Jonah is on the back end of Bird, and he's going to lose out anyway through penalties. He's going to lose out to Sparrex, who's flying through. Sparrex has 6 seconds. That is an actual position he's gained there, and so he's not going to gain points, but he's going to look good as Sparrex. Having a little comeback. He's going to get 11th at the end.
Oh, he almost went into the back of it. He might get the exit, but he needs to. He's just ran a bit deep. That's Bird still holding on. He jumps him anyway.
That was a lovely last lap for Sparrex.
I think that was a lovely last lap for everybody. That was such an exciting final battle. I really thought Martin G had that. Just that little bit of a push, so close to get right on the inside and just nail it through. And he was so lucky that it was a penalty there for Lemon to be able to be in that position where he could have attacked and potentially got that race win. But still, nonetheless, it was excitement from start to finish. Lemon gets the 25 points. Martin G gets a second place with a Nickturn in P3, and Hypers loses out as P4.
Yep. Right, let's have a quick confirmation of those standings then, shall we?
Can I also just point out before we talk about standings, Did you see Martin G's overtake through turn 3 and then how he just managed to bring himself, because the crucial factor there was at Nick turn had to get the exit of Dreams in order to stay alongside Martin G to make sure that the inside was at Nick turns. Martin G, under pressure, pulled away massively round the outside of it Nick turn and got himself over to the inside in preparation for turn 4, so there was no way for a Nick turn to come back at him, and he almost so nearly got Lemon. It was just that little bit that he lost out on. But anyway, here's the rundown. Lemon takes the race win through penalties as Hypers crossed the line first, but did get 6 seconds, so he falls down to P4. As Lemon takes the win, Martin G takes second, and Nickton takes third, Hypers takes fourth, Bulksan takes fifth, Copy in 6th with Brownie in 7th, Rocket in 8th, Frankie Pie in 9th, Astro Boys in 10th, with best of the rest being Spax Gamer. He also gets the fastest lap of the race. Well, that's it for the World Championship Racing Series here in Austria. We are going to be back next week in Britain.
Well, you'll be back. I won't.
I'll be back.